Hello YouTube, this is Cobra22 here, back with another 100-point squadron build for Star Wars X-Wing miniatures. Today, we're looking back at the Imperial faction. We've got ourselves a sort of swarm and elite build. We have 5 TIE fighters, with Youngster as the squadron leader and 4 academy pilots following behind him. And for the Lone Wolf, we have a Lieutenant Colzet piloting a TIE Advance X1. Now the idea is it's a swarm and an elite build. It's kind of a mix of the two. Colzet's kind of like the Lone Wolf of the group. He's going to be providing added support for the TIE fighters, and of course, Youngster and the Academy pilots are all swarming together, and they're going to probably stay as close as they can to each other because of Youngster's ability. So these guys are going to be flying in a tight formation, and he's going to be off doing his own thing. Now, the name of the build is Finishing Blow, and that has to do with Colzet's ability, which I will get to in just a second. We have the ships. Let's look at the squadron itself. So, pretty diverse squadron. Well, I wouldn't say diverse, but it's a pretty big one. 6 ships. It's a 6-ship swarm. Well, with 1 elite and 5 swarmies. 4 swarmies if you count Youngster as the elite. All these guys have been upgraded. Most of the elites have been upgraded with as many upgrades as they can take. And the total cost of this amounts to about 98 points. So you are going to get initiative if you decide to use the squadron. That said, let's look at the Lone Wolf first. We have here Lieutenant Colzet. Coming in at a pilot skill of 3, he flies the Sino Fleet Systems TIE Advanced X1 for the Galactic Empire. He has the standard stats of a TIE Advanced. He has attack value of 2, agility value of 3, hull value of 3, and a shield value of 2. His action bar consists of the focus, target lock, barrel roll, and evade actions. Costs 23 points to field. His upgrade bar consists of a missile upgrade as well as an unlisted Thailand modification. His pilot ability reads, at the start of the end phase, you may spend a target lock you have on an enemy ship to flip 1 random face-down damage card assigned to it face up. So, this is why the build is called Finishing Blow. Because Lieutenant Colzet's ability, in a way, it kind of behaves similarly to that of Koran Horn, except that you don't get to attack twice, but rather, if you have a target lock on the target you just attacked, and they deal and they have at least 1 face-down damage card, you can spend your target lock and flip that card, change that card to a critical. So, in a way, it's almost it's a much lesser version of the advanced targeting computer, but rather than adding a critical hit result to your roll, you're turning 1 hit into a critical. It's like, in a way, this card would be pretty good against with guys like Scourge or Mauler Methel or Backstab or any of those guys. But yeah, so that's his ability in a ship. For his title, we've gone with the must-needed with the absolutely required TIE X1 title card, coming in at the cost of 0. It's a TIE Advanced only title, and it's become absolutely required if you want to field these ships. States your upgrade bar gains the system upgrade icon. If you equip a system upgrade, its squad point cost is reduced by 4 to a minimum of 0. So that means, aside from the advanced targeting computer, every single system upgrade you put on the TIE Advanced is free. And again, it's basically become a necessity for these ships. For his modification, gone with an engine upgrade. Coming at a squad point cost of 4, it reads your action bar against the boost action icon. So that means Colzet now has 5 actions to take. He's got a focus, target lock, barrel, boost, and evade. So really, you're really going to be using the engine upgrade early on in the match so that you can get up close to the opponent and dish out some close range damage. For his system, got with a fire control system to complement his ability. Coming into the squad point cost of 2, well 0, thanks to the TIE X1. And states after you perform an attack, you may acquire a target lock on the defender. So this provides a bit of action economy. Basically states you can take like a focus action or a boost or barrel, whatever. You take your attack, you acquire a target lock, and then if by the end of the round you've inflicted damage onto the opponent, you can spend your target lock from the fire control system and change one of the damage cards into a face-up critical. And if you're lucky, would be treated as a direct hit, or it would become a direct hit. Sorry, and they would go down. However, for added long-range splash damage, this is not required, but it's a nice little touch if you want to deal extra damage from additions. We've got an assault missile. It states at a cost of 5, has an attack value of 4, can be used at range 2 to 3. It reads, spend your target lock and discard this card to perform this attack. If this attack hits, each other ship at range 1 of the defender suffers 1 damage. So, assault missiles are really great for dishing out early damage to swarms that like to huddle in tight formations, but be careful, because its ability behaves similarly to that of a bomb. The attack takes the target of the attack takes the whole full force of the attack, but every other ship at range 1 of him takes 1 damage, including your allies. So these assault missiles are a bit of a gamble to use, So if you do plan to use it, make sure you're far away from your target as possible. Make sure the your squad mates are as far away from the target as possible. Or if you're the only one standing, that's fine. But to take full advantage of the assault missiles, make sure you Make sure to use it against a swarm. Again, this is not a required card. You don't have to put a missile on, but it's just there. It's just there for added support. This is my choice. I would have, yeah. Anyway, moving on. We move on to the swarm now, starting with the squadron leader of the swarm, becoming quickly one of my favorite TIE fighter pilots, Youngster. Coming in at a pilot skill of 6, he flies the Sinar Fleet Systems TIE Fighter for the Galactic Empire. Standard stats of a TIE Fighter: he has an attack value of 2, agility value of 3, hull value of 3, and shield value 2, so similar to the TIE Advance except minus 2 hit points. Sorry. His action bar consists of the focus, barrel roll, and evade actions, costs 15 points to fill, so he's a very cheap ship. His upgrade bar consists of the elite upgrade as well as an unlisted talent modification. His pilot ability reads: friendly TIE fighters at range 1 to 3 may perform the action on your equipped elite upgrade card. Now, this guy pretty much takes this guy right here. The reason he comes with the Imperial Assault Carrier expansion, and this guy reignites the passion. Basically, he makes swarms a lot more competitively viable because of this ability. Fielding this guy means every single one of your ships, of your TIE fighters, including TIE fighters that already have an elite pilot talent, can use his elite pilot talent so long as they stay at range 1 to 3 of him. Depending, of course, on the upgrade as well. But, yeah. So basically, Youngster, in a way, could be at range 1 to 3. Or actually, no. No, yeah, again, unless of course the card specifically states it. In order to take full advantage of this, yeah. But yeah, otherwise, it's a really powerful ability if you use it correctly. And it's meant to be used in a swarm, so Youngster is the perfect squadron leader for any swarm. Because it allows all of his squad mates to use his elite upgrade. For his modification, I've gone with a stealth device. Comes with a squad point cost of 3, and it reads: increase your agility value by 1. If you're hit by an attack, discard this card. So you get kind of like you get an increase to your agility value, but if you're hit by an attack, even if the attack misses, like say with Lieutenant Blount's ability, then you lose the stealth device. So yeah, but with this card, Youngster now has an agility value of 4, so that means he's very likely to evade a lot of the shots. His elite pilot talent, elite pilot skill, is Swarm Tactics. Coming in at a squad point cost of 2, reach at the start of the combat phase, choose one friendly ship at range 1. Until the end of this phase, treat the chosen ship as if its pilot skill were equal to your pilot skill. This combined with Youngster makes for an extremely powerful swarm, because Youngster's ability allows him to allows other friendly ships, friendly TIE fighters. Not sure if it includes other TIE models, but I'm just going to assume TIE fighters for now. At range 1 to 3 can perform his elite pilot action. So as long as they stay within range 1 of him, they can use the swarm tactics. So that means Youngster can pass on his pilot skill to any of these other guys, who can then use his elite pilot skill to do the same thing. By the start of the combat phase, all of these guys will be pilot skill level 6, allowing them to attack long before Colzet. And of course, Colzet having the lowest pilot skill will attack last, allowing him to take full effect of his fire control system to get that target lock. And then and of course by then, if you're attacking a large ship, by then there'll be some damage cards on the guy. You can then spend your target lock, flip one of them face up randomly, and so on and so forth. Following behind Halloran, we've got 4 Academy pilots coming in at a pilot skill of 1. They fly the Sinar Fleet Systems TIE Fighter for the Galactic Empire. Standard stats of a TIE: attack 2, agility 3, hull 3, shield 0. You can take the focus, target lock, and focus, barrel roll, and evade actions. 12 points to field, so they're the cheapest Imperial ship to field, and no upgrades aside from an enlisted talent modification. And common pilot, so that means they have no pilot ability. But of course, Youngster fixes that by allowing them to use his swarm tactics, so long as they stay within range 1 of them. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's how the squadron is constructed. I'll be back in a second to show you how the squadron works. Okay, we have the ships in place. For this scenario, all the ships have taken their moves and taken their actions. We have the TIE Fighters and the TIE Advance bearing down on Captain Oikun in the VT-49 Decimator. He has taken a focus action, as well as the rest of my Academy pilots here, and Colzet as well. He's opted not to use his missiles because one of these isn't at range. I think one of these TIE Fighters is at range 1 of the ship, and he will suffer damage if he fires it. We got Youngster here taking an evade, just in case, because, you know, Squadron Leader, he's pretty much the key to make this swarm work. So, at the start of the combat phase, all of the, he chooses him to make his pilot skill 6, and then, of course, he can take his elite pilot skill, make his pilot skill 6, and then in turn, make his pilot skill 6, which in turn can make his pilot skill 6. So it's a chain reaction, starting with Youngster. Then the rest of the Academy pilots are now pilot skill level 6. That means they will all attack before Oikun, because he has a pilot skill 4, and then Lieutenant Colzet will be the last one to attack. By then, hopefully we've dealt enough damage to the guy to get some face-down damage cards on him, and then, of course, we can use his fire control system to get a free target lock, and then spend that target lock to turn one of those into a critical. So I'm gonna get some shield tokens here, just to show the. Get my damage deck ready as well, just to show what exactly is happening. So he's got 4 shields. Roll for my Y-wings here. He's got 2, and he has a stealth device, so he has 4 agility. So let's begin. Starting with Youngster, he's going to be actually since these guys all have pilot skill 6, you can choose one of these get to attack first. So we're going to start with this guy. He's going to be the closest. I think he's at range 1. Closest point to closest dictates that he is in range 2. Okay, so he's going to be range 2 of the guy, so I could have used my missile, but didn't want to risk it. Get my dice, so that'll be 2 attack dice. The Decimator does not have any agility, so that's going to be a critical hit onto him, so he loses a shield. Now onto this Academy pilot, who will be attacking, I believe, at range 3. Yep, range 3, so that means we'll get 1 dice on the his focus. We got 2 hits, and he has an evade, so another one of his shields is gone. Still has that focus. And then we'll have this guy attack. This guy will be at range 2 as well. Oh, shit. Will be at range 2 as well. Sorry about that. And he's hitting a focus. He'll spend his focus. Turn this to a hit. 2 more shields gone. So we're not looking good for Oikun. This guy here is going to attack next. A critical in the focus. So I'm going to spend that focus. Turn this to a hit. So that's now 1 hit and 1 critical, which is direct hit. Oh, so now he's down to, let's see, he has 12 hull, 11, 10. He's down to 9 hull. Finally, Youngster gets his shot in. A blank and a focus. So he should have taken that as focus, but no damage done to Oikun now. Oikun's going to attack. He's going to aim right back at Youngster. Youngster's going to get 4 dice because of his stealth device, and I believe that's a range 2 attack. Yes, it is. So it'll be 3 dice versus 4 evade. And oh, unlucky shot. So no hits. So Youngster is safe. And then we'll have Colzet here attack, range 2. Hitting a focus. He'll spend that focus. Turn this into 2 hits. So that's another 2 hits onto him. And the weapons, the fire control system allows him to take a free target lock after his attack. Now, the end phase, Colzet can spend his target lock and randomly take one of these face downs and turn it face up. Let's choose the one at the end here that you just got. And it's a major hull breach. So that means that every damage he is dealt will be a face up. Unless, of course, during the action phase, he decides to flip it face down. So that's kind of how the build works. The TIE fighters here are going to be the ones doing all of the damage up front, because they'll all be pilot skill 6, and that means you can choose which one gets to go first. After that, whoever comes in between these 2 guys, the Swarm and the Elite, will get to attack. As you see, I went for Howrunner, or not Howrunner, sorry, Youngster, but scored no hit results as a result, so he's fine. And then Colzet got to take a shot, got 2 extra damage in thanks to the focus, and then Fire Control System allowed him to take a free target lock. And then the end phase allowed him to spend that target lock, take any one of these damage cards that he took, and turn it into a critical. So that's how the finishing blow squadron works. And then what you guys think in the comments below. Any constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. If you like, you may use this build for any competitive or casual play, or you may tweak it or revamp it to your own specifications. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Corbin22 signing off.